like the Civic Centre. I've been banging on about the Civic Centre and getting it up and going and making it more professional, because it was just really a community hall and we had no facilities really for people who were coming in and out, like for professional people to come and use it and things. So we eventually got organised, and Michael Jones, who's the Director of Corporate Services, I said to him when he first came, I said, I really want to get Civic Centre up and going so that we can see whether it's worthwhile having it as an absolute venue. And the thing is, we've got an older population now, so we do need more of those arts and cultural sort of things. So, and it attracts people if you've got something like that. So so we found the money. We gave lots of money and got a professional person to come and manage the whole thing, and that's been a real cultural change for the people in the community. So I'm chairman of the Civic Centre Reference Group, which is like for my sins. But anyway, that's okay. But we're getting there slowly, and I think the guy we've got is okay. I think he's really good, actually, really good at what he does. But I think he's a bit over the top he has things on all the time and he expects everyone to turn up constantly. And I think that's probably a bit of a long shot for, like World Women's Day. And
I saw the Women's Film Festival.
Which is lovely, but I just think we all like being in our garden.
It's summer.
There is a lot of other things to do, and there's a small population. So I just worry a bit. I mean, we're going to have a review soon, but I worry a bit about how he's got grand ideas and they're fantastic and all that stuff, but I just think he's probably overreaching for our community. Done a great job with upgrading and changing and attracting lots of different things, but I do think it's probably a little bit, probably better in a larger centre than ours. I just get the feeling, I'm not sure what the numbers are like, but I get the feeling that I haven't been going to anything, so I feel really guilty. But I just get the feeling he's probably overreached a bit. But anyway, we'll work that out. But that's a project. It's great, and it's great that it's going ahead.
So you can see it and it's visible.
Yeah,
and it's
that's what I
tangible.
like. That's what I like. I like to be able to say, these are the things we really need in our community, and this is how we can go about getting them. So I'm quite good at doing that and sort of promoting things. I'm chair of the festival, have been for years and years and years, and love it. Festival, but I keep thinking, maybe I shouldn't do it next year, but I really love it, so it's a lot of work. I go to meetings all the time. David's as bad as I am, so we go to a lot of meetings. And like you get there, it's really hard because you get there and people go, you're sitting there and you think, I'm not going to say much or do anything, and then people say to me, well, what should we do about this and how will we go about that? And because I innately or have learned over many years, I can help those people to make that happen. So, having that skill and that knowledge is really quite valuable for our community. So it's like the Showground Trust. I'm on the Showground Trust, have been for about 6 years. I've been able to get about $1 million in grant applications.
Oh, wow.
So I'm always applying for grants. So I've been able to get heaps of money for the showground, because I looked at the showground, I was really sad and sorry, and I said, we really need to do something about that. So I put myself up, got involved, and became a member of the Showground Trust. And since then, as I said, we've got about $1 million worth of projects, and we've upgraded everything and got a part-time caretaker, and I'm the treasurer, and so I'm always applying for grants for everything over there. And, and that's really great. And it's good to be able to go to them. And they had no idea. They still have no idea. And the planning department, I was on the planning panel for the Western Region, the New South Wales Planning Panel, JRPP, for 10 years as well. So I know a lot about planning matters and how to go about through DAs and all that sort of stuff. Great. So that's, so being able to put in the DAs for the showground, which is just so hard anyway. It doesn't matter what you're in and what you do. It's really hard to put in DAs. You need to know what you're doing. So I've been able to do all that for them. So we've done a lot of improvements and changes over there and construction and stuff. So I've been able to do that for them. So that's really great.
Yeah.
And then I'm on the Ability Network. I only just got on that, which is crazy. The Cara Ability Network, which is like special needs. It was special needs. I got it in November last year. So, and we talked them into, behind the hospital, we have 160 clients, so with special needs. So we talked them into, and behind the hospital is being redeveloped, so we decided we needed a new place. So we looked everywhere and we found this place in Lyle Street, which is 5 acres in a floodplain place, but it's fine, brand new house. So we bought that, and now we've got to put in a plan and DAs and all of those things for that. So we're moving everyone to there eventually. It's going to call the Ability Farm. We're going to have animals and grow veggies and we've got short-term accommodation and
that sounds fabulous.
It is absolutely fabulous. It's so exciting. And I'm thinking, David said to me, you don't need this project. It really is a big project, but it is. It's great. So really excited about that. So that's really good. So that's all my projects. And then I'm also on the chair of the Central West Regional Development Board. So that's a really big job. I shouldn't have taken that on, but I did, and I've been on that for about 6 months too. And we've just got a new CEO, so I'm thinking, oh great. And he rings me today and goes, "Do you want to talk about things?" I'm like, "No, not really. I'm just giving you the job. You do it." Anyway, that's fine. So that's another.
You have trouble saying no, don't you?
No, not really. Actually, these are the things that I like to do. Probably, no, not really. I can say no. I'm saying no to local government New South Wales, and because I just found it more politically and honestly go around to Lord Talk Fest and you have input into submissions and government and things, but I can do that anyway. I just found that I'm probably more valuable locally doing those things, and I have knowledge of and friends with Steph Cook and Michael McCormack and all the local mayors and general managers anyway. So if I want anyone, I can ring people and ask them to do things. So I don't really need to be on the local government New South Wales board. I found it really quite. In fact, I just found it really really satisfying because it's a lot of politics.
Yeah. The satisfaction comes from getting things done and being effective, I guess.
It does. It does. So I've been really involved in everything, lots of things, which is great fun.
Yeah.
I really enjoy it. So that's why I enjoy it, because I like to see projects to the end, and we've got a lot of projects happening in council, lots of really good things happening, and it takes time, and no one, people don't realise how much time it takes either, some candidates can get up and say, "Oh, we need more jobs, we need more of this, we need more of that." And you're, "Oh, great, fantastic." I actually employ 7 people myself, in my business. I've had 3 or 4 businesses, I actually have employed lots of people, and run businesses in town, 3 or 4 or 5 businesses in town. And so it's not as easy as people think, and you've got to work at it. It just doesn't happen. And if you've got a really good idea, you really have to make sure everybody's on board before you actually put it out there. If you've got a good idea, you want to do something, you have to say, "Look, I've really got this good idea." Like, what do we have? And then you go around to everybody and say, the mayor, general manager, "What do you think I should do about this? And I've spoken to so-and-so and they think this is a good idea." It's like the veg playground. Like, this is a good idea. How will we get this off the ground? And everyone chips in and everyone helps, and then everyone around the table is supportive, and then it actually becomes a really good project.
Yeah.
To get up and say, "I think we need," is like red rag to a bull, because everyone goes, "Oh no, why would we do that for you?" Or, "We've already thought about that years ago and we've tried that," or "We've tried that before." And people tend to do that a lot. "Oh yeah, we had a go. We tried that before and it never worked." So unless you go around and get everyone's support, then it probably wasn't a good idea in the beginning. So it's actually convincing everyone else it's a good idea is really important.
They do talk about that, right? Like, the work that needs to go in before a meeting, and this is in any kind of situation. If you want to get people on board in a meeting or put it on an agenda, whatever it has to be, all of that background work has to happen, and that requires relationships. It requires really good relationships.
It does, actually. And you really do need to talk to people about it. And if there's something comes up in council that's a little bit controversial and not really sure, we tend to talk about it. I tend to ring somebody, "What do you think about this?" And they, because you may change your mind in the meeting, but it's really nice to know who's backing who, or who has a different opinion before you actually say anything, because it's really, sometimes you can come flat on your face because you don't know all the facts, and they say, "Well, I'm sorry, Councillor Fagan, that's not the problem at all, it's this." And you think, "I haven't done enough research." So, if it is something controversial or a little bit tricky, you do need to do a lot of background. You need to make sure you know your facts before you speak up. Yeah. Because you can fall flat if you don't. Yeah.
it's interesting the campaign, right? Because people can just say